She's hot.
What's hot? She's hot.
What's hot sale?
Musicland.
Musicland's Make It Hot sale, where you can save on the latest releases like REM's Automatic for the People, available on Warner Brothers. And the brand new release from Genesis, Live The Way We Walk Volume 2, The Longs, available on Atlantic. Sale now through February 15th at Musicland. We got what's hot.
What's hot?
Cool.
With Blockbuster video stores popping up all over, there's only one place where you'll find more movies. But it's a 1,875-mile drive. Blockbuster Video. Opening soon in Columbia Heights and Roseville.
If you're tired of walking all the way to the curb to get your morning paper, imagine how your neighbors must feel. Instead, get the Pioneer Press delivered to your doorstep by calling 291-1888.
And now, here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers. This is KSTP TV, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Straight ahead on Channel 5's Eyewitness News at 10.
Look out, Oprah. President Clinton starts his own talk show.
Tonight's top story.
This is what U.S. soldiers could face in Bosnia.
Plus,
The state wants us all to get a new driver's license.
stay tuned.
Are children getting their hands on computer pornography?
Now, Eyewitness News.
Our top story, President Clinton meets the people in a way that could revolutionize the presidency.
The nation's first baby boom president tonight became the first to use interactive TV to communicate with Americans.
Tom Hauser's in the control center with more on tonight's history-making event. Tom?
Mark and Angela, President Clinton's first electronic town meeting was witnessed by millions of Americans tonight on various networks and local stations. He's the first president to make full use of satellites and other modern technology to talk to, and more importantly, to listen to Americans.
I'd like to know what you're going to do to ensure that people with a pre-existing condition can get health care.
Average Americans talking directly to the president, asking questions about issues most important to them, and a president who listened and responded.
Let me answer your first question first.
It's a format we saw during the recent presidential debates, but it's the first time we've seen a president alone conduct a meeting of this kind with the American people. A U of M history professor says it's history in the making.
Bill Clinton is, in fact, the president of the television age.
Hy Berman says Clinton's town meetings will likely be treated in history books like Franklin Roosevelt's famous fireside chats.
What Clinton is doing is bringing the presidency into the electronic era. He's doing for this era what Franklin Roosevelt did for radio back in the 1930s.
But Clinton's town meetings will differ significantly, not just because they're on television, but because they involve one-on-one interaction with Americans, even children.
How will you help make a drug-free America so I can feel safe?
His expression was that of respect, yet love and appreciation, what the little girl was saying. If this is going to be a harbinger of what's going to come, he's going to be known, I think, as the great communicator rather than Ronald Reagan.
And that is high praise indeed, considering this was Clinton's first town meeting, but Berman says it's already clear that Clinton is much more comfortable talking to people one-on-one than President Reagan ever was. Mark and Angela?
So how often does President Clinton plan to conduct these town meetings, Tom?
Well, he didn't really say, but he did promise he's going to do a lot of these, and as Hy Berman told me tonight, President Clinton is the first president who really grew up on television. It's very likely he is going to make good use of it throughout his presidency.
All right, thank you very much. President Clinton's first major foreign policy decision could send American soldiers into yet another world battle zone. Mark has more on the situation. Mark?
Angela, will there be U.S. involvement in the former Yugoslavia? A question yet to be answered, really. In short, the Clinton administration says if peace is agreed upon there, U.S. ground troops will go there to make sure it stays that way.
And we are prepared to use our military power to enforce the agreement.
Secretary of State Warren Christopher is one of several top aides to President Clinton who spent 3 weeks deciding what to do in the war-ravaged region. The choices weren't easy. Christopher even criticizing a foot-dragging Bush administration for making things worse.
Because those actions were not taken, we face a much more intractable situation with vastly more difficult options.
And in the past, the administration has also chastised the UN peacekeepers, saying the Bosnian Muslims haven't been fairly treated in negotiations. But the White House has realized that cutting a deal with them, the Serbs, and the Croatians, all of whom are fighting each other, won't be easy. Now, here are the details of the U.S. proposal. Again, U.S. troops will go in to keep any peace settlement that is reached. Sanctions will be tightened on the Serbs if the human rights violations don't stop, and more aid will be sent to the innocent men, women, and children now in need. Angela, that's the latest.
All right, Mark. Is Minnesota issuing people a license to steal? Police say yes. It's called a driver's license. Police say the plastic cards are among the easiest in the country for criminals to change the numbers, the photos, and use them to steal your money. Mike Binkley has more on efforts to create a new, harder-to-change license. He's live in St. Paul. Mike?
Well, what's to stop someone who has stolen your driver's license and your checkbook from making a few quick changes and coming to a place like this to start endorsing some checks? Police have been saying for years that our licenses are relatively easy to fake, but finally now changes appear to be coming.
I mean, just about everything. Anything you can think of, it's happened.
In 5 years of checking IDs at a bar, Aaron Young has collected hundreds of forged IDs from 40 different states. He believes Minnesota's has to be one of the easiest to tamper with. So do police, who've shown us the simple process of peeling back the laminate and inserting a new picture, or shaving away the lettering and inserting new information. The last straw for police was a large Twin Cities group caught forging these checks with a collection of stolen licenses in 1991. They had taken in as much as $100,000.
And this card has a plastic laminate over the top of that security feature.
Now examples are being gathered for a new Minnesota license. This sample has a hologram of a Kennedy $50. Minnesota's new card will probably have a hologram across the entire face of it, and any tampering would destroy it. Instead of an actual photo, the new card will have digitized images printed right onto it. An underage ID will have the picture on the left with a black stripe, over 21 and your picture's on the right with a red stripe. Aaron likes it.
It would be 100% better. If the hologram is off, you can tell right away that it's been altered.
And everything appears to be set in motion for a card like this to start appearing in Minnesota. A bill has already been introduced before the state Senate. The governor already has money for it in his budget, and assuming that it does pass in this session, they're hoping to have new licenses like these to us within the next 1.5 to 2 years. Reporting live from St. Paul, I'm Mike Binkley, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Mike, will this be an expensive change?
Well, not really. They're thinking that if they charge us an extra $1 each time we go in to renew every 4 years or so, that should take care of the added cost. So no, not very expensive at all.
Thank you, Mike.
Other news, a Minneapolis family mourns the death of a 2-year-old boy tonight. The boy's father tried to save his 2 sons from an early morning fire. That fire happening just before 10 at 621 Vincent Avenue North. 2 boys, aged 4 and 2, were playing in the basement at the time.
I went and I saved my oldest one. And then when I got back down to get my youngest, the smoke was too thick, the fire was too big. I couldn't get him.
2-year-old Lance Hill was taken to the hospital where he died of smoke inhalation. Arson investigators say tests are being done to determine how the fire started. St. Paul police reenact an accident that sent a 15-year-old girl to the hospital. Missy Grape is in serious condition tonight. A van hit the Como High School student this morning at the intersection of Grotto and Maryland. Neighbors want traffic lights installed at the dangerous intersection. The city may put in stop signs.
When you hear the word rape, the first image is a man sexually attacking a woman.
But in a growing number of rape cases, both the villain and the victim are men.
Reporter Inga Hammond talks with 2 male rape victims about the crime and the stigma attached to it.
You don't feel human anymore. You know, you feel like you're a piece of machinery that has broken down.
Dave was raped at a rest stop. It happened in the sleeper compartment of his own truck. Richard was hitchhiking in California when 2 men raped him at knife point.
Anytime a person is raped, I don't care if you're male or female, a person's rights are violated.
For male rape victims, feelings of embarrassment, guilt, and shame are often intensified but rarely addressed.
The problem is that men are told not to be emotional. And this is something that's going to bring up a lot of emotion.
Pam Elliott runs Alternative, a gay and lesbian anti-violence agency. She says society teaches men to be protectors, not victims. So when they're victimized, they often remain silent.
They're the perfect victim in a way because they can't complain. This man who's assaulting this other man knows that.
Of the more than 700 reported rapes in Minneapolis last year, police say 40 to 50 of the victims were men. But for each man who reports an attack, experts say there are many, many others who do not. Neither of the two rape victims we spoke with went to authorities.
How are you going to explain this to a police officer? You know, a truck driver, you know, an ex-Army man raped?
But experts say if you don't talk to someone, the rape can destroy you.
If you don't process it and deal with it and get it out where you can look at it, it's a monster that'll fester for a very long time.
If they don't get help, what they're going to end up doing is not only destroying themselves, they'll destroy everyone around them.
Inga Hammond, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
There are support groups and support systems available for male rape victims.
But experts say that the victims often don't take advantage of them.
Coming up next on Channel 5's Eyewitness News.
Kids, computers, and pornography. The problem is desktop sex.
And
we'll tell you how compact disc players can cause a plane to crash.
then
another golden moment for Christian Leitner of the Timberwolves.
Plus,
snow and more snow and cold. I'll tell you how the roads will be if you ride to work tomorrow.
stay tuned.
This teddy bear may not look very important to some people, but to a kid who's alone or frightened, a hug from a friend like this can mean a lot. I'm Michael W. Smith. We're asking you to give a helping hug this Valentine's Day. The Helping Hugs program provides paramedics with teddy bears to comfort kids in crisis. All you have to do is buy Hershey's Kisses at Target, and Target will make a donation. And remember, you can never get enough hugs.
More kisses.
Switched to AT&T in the last 2 years. And thousands more switch every day. Switch now to AT&T for competitive prices and unsurpassed quality. It's easy to be with the best. Call 1-800-742-3555.
People say Ember's Steak and Eggs platter is the best they've ever had. Two farm-fresh eggs, 3 buttermilk pancakes, hashed brown potatoes, and a USDA choice sirloin steak, only $3.99. Come and see if you don't agree. There's only one place for food this good. Embers. Only Embers.
Get off that couch. The 31st annual CarQuest Auto Parts World of Wheels is back in town with an all-new lineup of the wildest sculpted sheet metal you've ever seen. We've even got the actual Batmobile from Batman Returns. Meet Zach from TV's Saved by the Bell. Brian Austin Green from Beverly Hills 90210. And the kids will love the Tiny Toons. There's something for everyone, so what are you waiting for? The 31st annual CarQuest Auto Parts World of Wheels. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 12, 13, and 14 at the St. Paul Civic Center.
When it comes to using computers, nobody works the keyboards better than kids.
But what are they learning on computers? A Bloomington mom called us saying she caught her son retrieving obscene jokes on his computer.
And a local dad discovered his son found a way to download pornographic images. Tonight, kids are the focus as we conclude our series, Desktop Sex. Let's go to Stan Miller first. Stan?
Well, overall, computer technology has created a lot of positive educational news sources for children. They can tap into library files, for example, to answer a homework question. They can swap sports stories or computer games over their screens. But as Mike Binkley found out, they can also work their way into some computer networks that are supposed to be for adults only.
Beyond your child's door, it may seem like he's doing homework. Last month, though, the father of this Twin Cities 10th grader walked in and took a closer look. Scrolling across his boy's computer were listings for Claudias, Candies, and Connies. naked women for his choosing to call up on the screen, save on a disc, and trade with teenage friends who have computers of their own.
I knew one kid had like 4 accounts just to get a lot of these.
They're made possible by technology that can now digitize any photograph and send it through the phone lines and onto computer screens. With some work, children can find entertaining shots of Mickey Mouse and Gumby, along with computer games. They're not supposed to have access to the adult graphics, but many teenagers have the know-how to find them.
It's really easy to just tap into these things, and it's easy to fool these guys.
And that's one of the biggest fears about this new outlet for pornography, the lack of any effective way to verify ages.
As long as he writes out on a piece of paper, "I'm over 21, little Johnny Johnson," no one will ever know, and there's no way to check it.
We called about some X-rated software, and the salesperson didn't ask about age until we brought it up.
Now, if I order this, how do you know that I'm not like 17 years old?
Are you 17 years old?
Well, no.
You're over 21, right?
Yeah.
We just have to take your word for it.
Many of the adult graphics come from computer bulletin boards where users can tap into numerous files, and they are asked to state they're over 18, sometimes even give a credit card to gain access. Those we interviewed from one adult board said they can tell if a child is logged on by the language they use, and they'll alert the system operator.
Then they go back and call and say, hey, you can't do this. You have to get off the board now. And they're off the board.
We do general common sense. We don't allow kids on our board. We don't allow kids in our sensitive area. I mean, we don't allow anyone in our sensitive area unless we get a complete, what we call adult material release form from them, which says that I'm over 18.
Those who operate these bulletin boards really have no written guidelines to follow, and they don't need a license. They've tried to protect themselves legally with forms and disclaimers, and they say much of what they do constitutes free speech. But those who fight pornography say that's not the issue here.
The pornographers love to run around and say that they're protecting all of our First Amendment rights to have the materials that we want. The pornographers don't care about our First Amendment rights. They care about money. The whole pornography industry is based on greed.
This is the new frontier for pornography, and it's destined to grow in the years to come. It may spark legislation to create better protections against children getting into it. But for one Twin Cities youth, it's just a 1990s version of something that's been happening for years.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like, hiding a Playboy from your dad or something, but I mean that you have or something.
Getting straight to the point, I'm Mike Binkley.
The bottom line is that unlike the 900 telephone lines, there's no block the parents could put on their child's computer line to prevent access to the adult networks. They are dependent on the system operators to use whatever methods they have to keep the children off, and those methods aren't foolproof. We've heard from several system operators who are hoping that the exposure we've given the issue this week will help weed out the bad ones. Most bulletin boards do not offer adult materials, but they say most operators who do work hard to identify and sign off the children who've tapped into their lines. We got a lot of calls in response to last night's story about labor taxes for domestic workers, when you should pay and when you don't. The law says you pay taxes on household help when the worker earns more than $50 over 3 months. Several callers say that minimum is too low.
I am a nanny currently, and I do pay taxes, but if the government is going to come after every babysitter, you're not going to find a babysitter because babysitters are not going to want to pay taxes. I'm making $3 an hour.
Well, thank you for your phone calls. And Mark and Angela, that's straight to the point.
All right, Stan.
Would you like to see more laws governing the computer sex business? Give us a call at 1-900-288-KSTP. Calls cost 95 cents a minute.
Straight ahead on Channel 5's Eyewitness News.
How much snow tonight? Dave Dahl has the forecast.
Plus, flame on at the Winter Carnival.
It's Toyota's first big sales event of the year, and you'll get excited over the deals on tough Toyota trucks.
Right now, save big money on a rugged 4x4.
And there's even big factory incentives on 4x2s.
Oh yeah!
And see Toyota's exciting new big truck, the T100. So hurry up and get to your Toyota dealer during the first big sales event of the new year.
I got a plan. I found 0% financing at Best Buy on all computers where the price of IBM's just dropped. So I bought this IBM 486SX. It's got memory, speed, and power, a monitor, printer, and more, all for just $17.98. It's everything I need to launch next business. It'll be huge. I'll hire people, buy more computers, make more money, hire more people, hold a fool. I'll buy Best Buy. I'll be rich. Rich. All thanks to Best Buy. Is that a plan or what?
Some unknown long-distance companies are promising you fax connections as fast as AT&T's. But a promise isn't a guarantee. And AT&T's advanced network guarantees your faxes won't get blocked, so they'll connect on the first try. Or we'll credit you if you're not satisfied with any fax that doesn't. It's your choice. Faxes that'll save you time, guaranteed. Or some other company that could be sending you the wrong signal.
The AT&T Best in the Business Guarantee. Call for details.
Bring the Baron home tonight. Red Baron frozen pizza.
Why is KS95 your favorite radio station?
I like the enthusiasm, I like the music, I like the variety of music.
I like the variety.
Well, it's just great music to listen to at work.
It's upbeat and it gets me going.
No rap, no hard rock.
It's fun. It's just fun to listen to. Oh, I love the different variety of songs.
Because they're fun.
I would say if you're looking for a wide variety of music, listen to KS95.
KS95, the best variety of the 70s, 80s, and today.
Be a little slower heading to work tomorrow?
Yeah, a little bit slippery out there. About a half an inch of snow so far. This is that winter doldrum period. You know, we were talking about how gray it's been, and then February usually is that slow time, and everybody wants to get out to a nice sunny spot. Well, tonight was, if you wanted to do something outside, not a bad spot to go down to St. Paul. They had, of course, the Torchlight Parade for the St. Paul Winter Carnival. Lots of pretty lights down there, and lots of fun activity for all the folks that joined the parade fun. And there was a little bit of snow to go along. We want summer. Yeah, that must have been the Vulcan crowd there. We are expecting to see that snow continue lightly throughout the nighttime hours tonight using the Channel 5 color radar. The area that's been spread out across the Twin Cities and throughout much of southern Minnesota already dropped 2 to 4 inches down in the southern part of the state. It looks like it's shrinking a little bit and it's sagging southward. However, there's more moisture coming up from the south, so it appears as though this will be reinforced a little later on tonight and by tomorrow morning. So we're going to get some additional accumulations here in the southern part of the state. This is what the total accumulation should look like. Down across the southern tier of counties, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches from Marshall down to about Rochester. Here in the Twin Cities, total accumulations up to about 1 to 2 inches. So that means another half an inch to an inch across the metro overnight tonight. But then we have another surge of moisture heading northward. That could give us some additional accumulations tomorrow outside officially at the airport. Right now our temp is at 23, so that's cooled off, and you can really feel it outside because of the northeast wind now at 13. It's creating a wind chill of 2 above. That's what it feels like. On your face, 30.35, the barometric pressure, that is rising, and we currently have light snow still falling. Visibility up to about 3 miles at the airport. Today's high up to 31. 23, the current reading, that's the low for the day, and officially there it is, a half an inch of snow. Sunrise 7:19 and sunset is at 5:35. Satellite loop over the last 18 hours just shows how powerful this storm system really is. Plenty of rainfall down the southern United States from southern Missouri all the way down through southern Mississippi. Some heavy storms, even the possibility of severe thunderstorms overnight tonight. But then up here in the upper Midwest, that moisture, of course, is in the form of snow here in the southern part of the state. The forecast then in detail for the metro overnight tonight. Periods of snow 1 to 2 inches. That's total accumulations by tomorrow morning, 17. Northeast winds at about 10 to 15. Then light snow and flurries tomorrow morning as you wake up, 22. In the afternoon, we're going to see the temperatures stay pretty much steady, mid-20s. Another inch or 2 is possible. Northeast winds at 10 to 20 tomorrow night. Light snow and flurries, not much additional, 14. The outlook for Friday, a cooler day, high near 18. As we look ahead, temperatures stay in the teens right on through the weekend for winter carnival activities into Monday, and overnight lows possibly below 0. So definitely cooler out there.
Okay. Thank you, Dave.
Be right back.
Coming up on Channel 5's Eyewitness News.
An emotional tribute to tennis legend Arthur Ashe.
And burger eaters, beware. This Eyewitness News weather update is sponsored by the Reality Home Show.
Here's the most convenient way to shop for your new home. It's the 1993 Reality Home Show. You'll see 45 of this year's best floor plans, featuring the newest in kitchens and baths at 3 easy-to-find locations in Woodbury, Savage, and Chaska. Take the home plan you like and build it anywhere in the Twin Cities area. All homes are priced under $160,000. Come and experience the 1993 Reality Home Show, February 13th through March 21st in Woodbury, Savage, and Chaska. Call 640-HOME for more information. Free parking and free admission, too. 640-HOME.
Champion Auto Stores. It's anniversary time at Champion Auto Stores. We're celebrating our 37th anniversary with our biggest sale of the year. Get a gallon of washer fluid or a quart of oil for just 50 cents. Haynes manuals are just $9.99, and car care seminar videotapes are just $1.99. Champion Auto's 37th anniversary has got what you need on sale now. Stop in and celebrate with us. Champion.
Folks around here sure like to pick their own. That's why Minnesotans love Gopher 5.
Hello, Berna.
Bill? Hey, snow peas look real good today.
Great.
Person could pick up a lot of cash just by picking the right 5 numbers.
Jackpots start at $100,000 in Minnesota's own Cash Lotto game.
Potatoes 3 rows back.
All across the country, American families are already turning buying power into horsepower with the GM MasterCard. They're earning 5% on every purchase and applying those earnings toward new GM cars and trucks. Now you can too. Call 1-800-8GM-CARD to apply. Start saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars on over 100 GM models. And there's no annual fee. The GM Card, today's financial vehicle.
A final farewell today to tennis great Arthur Ashe.
The funeral this morning in his hometown of Richmond, Virginia, drew more than 5,000 mourners. Dozens of dignitaries and friends, including the Reverend Jesse Jackson, praised Ashe as a man of commitment and courage, a leader in the fight against racism and AIDS. Ashe, the first African-American to win Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, died Saturday from AIDS complications. He was 49 years old. Our look at news from around the world tonight begins with a massacre in Mexico. Police say at least 24 people are dead tonight, the result of an ambush attack near a mountain village north of Acapulco. About 50 unidentified gunmen reportedly opened fire on 40 family members returning from a funeral. Investigators say a drug feud may be the motive.
If a consumer group gets its way, the next time you buy ground beef, it'll have a warning label. The group called Public Citizen wants to alert the public, of the dangers of a rare strain of the E. coli bacteria. Now, the announcement follows a bacterial outbreak that killed 2 children and sickened hundreds in the Northwest. The group wants the public to be aware of the danger and is suing the Agriculture Department to force warnings on all ground beef. Here's a shocker. A little compact disc player can cause a huge jetliner to crash. Almost happened recently when a passenger sitting in the first class turned on his CD player. The electronic frequency knocked out the cockpit controls, causing the plane to veer out of control. The Federal Aviation Administration is expected to ban CD use on all airline flights, perhaps as early as Friday.
Coming up on Channel 5's Eyewitness News.
The Gophers hit the road in the Big Ten, and that normally means they bite the dust. We'll tell you how they did.
Tonight's Eyewitness News Sports Report is sponsored by Menards, your complete home improvement center.
Give new life to your old cabinets and furniture with help from Menards. Save 15% off our everyday low prices on Amarok cabinet hardware. Choose from our great selection of pulls and hinges for doors and drawers. And save on fabulous Price Twister kitchen faucets with solid brass construction. This double-handle kitchen faucet is just $24.99 after mail-in rebate coupon. Depend on Menards for do-it-yourself saving.
Save big money at Menards.
Few things are more precious than teeth. We fill them with silver, crown them with gold, and to fight plaque, we use Interplaque. Dentists recommend its gentle rotating bristles to remove nearly all the plaque that can cause gingivitis and other gum disease. And now you can get $7 in Interplaque rebate coupons by calling 1-800-4NO-PLAQUE. You'd pay almost anything to protect your valuable teeth, but now you can pay less. Interplaque from Bausch & Lomb.
Dad,
Mr. Anderson, good to see you.
Hey, Tim. Say, when can I get some of that corn the corn borers don't like?
Hold on, Mr. Anderson. Northrop King is field testing corn with genetic resistance to European corn borer, but it'll be a while. Tell you what, I've got a hybrid you've got to try.
I'm listening.
Well, let's have a donut and talk it over before somebody eats them all.
Northrop King. We know corn.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's time to go play in the snow. Because it's time for the Dakota Midwinter Blowout, featuring the mid-size Dodge Dakota 4x4 Club Cab. An available 230 horsepower Magnum V8 makes it a real snow thrower. And we can throw in almost $3,200 in total savings, too. Right now, our selection is big, but it won't last long. So get to the Dakota Midwinter Blowout now, before it blows out of town. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Eyewitness News goes undercover to uncover who's made to order. A special straight-to-the-point report tomorrow at 10 on Channel 5's Eyewitness News.
From one expansion team to another, this dud's for you as far as the Wolves are concerned.
Yeah, tough night for Minnesota basketball all around. Didn't matter where Minnesota basketball teams were playing tonight. The result was the same. The Wolves were at the Target Center tonight where they could not handle the heat. The game started with a golden moment. Christian Laettner of the Wolves received his ring for being part of the Olympic Dream Team in Barcelona. Not much golden about the Wolves' performance tonight, though. Grant Long of the Heat will drive all the way for the jam himself. Miami never trailed in this game. Long had 19. The Wolves made a few runs. Bob McCann dishes off to Luke Longley for the slam, and the Wolves tied the game. The Wolves trailed by 7 at the half, and they were in big trouble until Chuck Person started nailing threes. He had 6 of them for a franchise record. The Wolves go on a 12-0 run, but that was it. The Heat holds on for a 101-90 win, their second road win in 2 nights. Clem Haskins says the media makes too big a deal out of the fact the Gophers can't win on the road. But the fact is the Gophers need to win on the road if they're going to make the NCAA tournament. Tonight at Purdue, the Gophers got off to a rough start. On the break, Glenn Robinson will score for Purdue. They led by 12 early. But the Gophers hung in there tonight. Ryan Wolf will nail the three-pointer, and the Gophers took the lead with 4 minutes left in the first half. But Purdue had a late spurt to take a 7-point lead by the half. Robinson is something else. He had the three-pointer, 29 points tonight, and Purdue led 41-34 at intermission. Second half, Townsend Orr kept Minnesota in the game with his best game as a Gopher. Here he goes for the layup and the steal. He had 17 points tonight, but Purdue would even its record at 5-5 by running past the Gophers down the stretch. Konzo Martin with the hoop. The Boilers win it 75-69. The Gophers aren't the only team that has trouble on the road in the Big Ten. Tonight at Michigan, Chris Webber was showing off against the Badgers. Wisconsin actually kept it close until the second half, but Webber scored 21 as the Wolverines beat Wisconsin 85-66. Elsewhere, it was Illinois over Michigan State by 3 and Ohio State by 11 over Northwestern. Back to basketball in the NBA, the biggest name in the sport was in a fight tonight. Air Jordan became Rocky Jordan. After Reggie Miller tips the shot here for the Pacers, he bumps into Jordan, and Jordan went after him. Got to take a look at this in the replay. It was a cheap shot by Miller. Jordan didn't like it, and he actually looked like a pro wrestler gouging at the eyes of Miller. Not surprisingly, Miller was ejected, but Air Jordan was not. Chicago won the game 115-104. It's the biggest week of the year for stock car racing. Sunday is the Daytona 500. Today in practice, 6 cars were damaged beyond repair when Jimmy Spencer's car slid sideways. It started a chain reaction when the collision started. Darrell Waltrip, Michael Waltrip, and Bobby Labonte all had their cars destroyed, and they will have to race Sunday in their backup cars. In baseball, the Braves signed John Smoltz to a 4-year, $16 million contract. Last year, Smoltz won 15 games and was the National League strikeout king. So far, the Braves have paid $64 million for 3 pitchers in the offseason.
Used to buy a ballpark.
Yeah, it used to buy a ball team. The
It's
Twins
3
were cheaper
pitchers.
than that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Sumo Mania. It's sweeping across America.
Critics call Summersby a ravishing romance. Foster and Gere set the screen on fire. Richard Gere's most passionate performance since An Officer and a Gentleman.
Do you love me?
You are not my husband.
4 stars. Jodie Foster is extraordinary.
You are not Jack Summersby, so why do you keep going on pretending that you are? How do you know? I never loved him the way that I love you.
Richard Gere, Jodie Foster, Summersby. Rated PG-13.
Now playing at a theater near you.